Imagine a world redrawn by rising tides, where coastlines vanish and familiar landscapes become submerged memories. This is the scenario we face if sea levels were to rise by 1,000 meters. It's a stark, almost unimaginable future, but one we must confront to understand the magnitude of the climate challenge before us. This essay explores this hypothetical future, examining the causes, consequences, and potential responses to such a drastic reshaping of our planet. The consequences of such a dramatic change would be devastating. Coastal cities home to billions would be swallowed beneath the waves. Entire nations would disappear, their landmass claimed by the encroaching ocean. The very map of our world would be irrevocably altered. Yet as daunting as this scenario may seem, it serves as a powerful lens through which to examine the urgency of climate action. By grappling with the worst-case scenario, we gain a deeper understanding of the stakes involved and the imperative to act. This is not a prediction, but a warning. A call to action in the face of an escalating crisis. The future is not yet written, and the choices we make today will determine the fate of our planet and future generations. A 1,000-meter sea level rise, while seemingly impossible, is rooted in the stark realities of Earth's melting ice sheets. The primary culprits are Greenland and Antarctica, colossal ice sheets holding enough frozen water to raise global sea levels by over 60 meters combined. The driving force, our warming atmosphere. As we pump greenhouse gases into the atmosphere primarily through fossil fuel consumption, global temperatures rise. This heat melts glaciers and ice sheets at an alarming rate, adding massive volumes of water to our oceans. While a 1,000-meter rise would likely take centuries, the trajectory we're on makes it a terrifying possibility. The rate of ice melt is accelerating, and even a fraction of that rise within the century would have catastrophic consequences. The melting of smaller glaciers and the thermal expansion of warming ocean water further contribute to the rising tides. This confluence of factors paints a clear picture. Our actions have unleashed powerful forces with the potential to reshape our planet. The immediate impact of a 1,000-meter sea level rise would be a world geographically unrecognizable. Coastlines would be redrawn, continents reshaped, and familiar landmarks submerged beneath hundreds of meters of water. Florida, Bangladesh, the Netherlands, all gone, swallowed by the surging seas. Coastal megacities like New York, London, Tokyo, reduced to underwater ruins. Entire island nations would vanish, leaving only memories and a smattering of history above the waves. Beyond the immediate loss of land, the world would face a cascade of environmental consequences. Saltwater intrusion would devastate freshwater resources, crippling agriculture and displacing millions. Coastal ecosystems, mangroves, coral reefs, estuaries would be decimated, impacting marine life and the livelihoods of communities that depend on them. This reshaping of our planet would trigger mass migrations, as millions flee the rising waters in search of habitable land. The scale of displacement would be unprecedented, leading to competition for resources, political instability, and humanitarian crises on a global scale. Section 4. Civilization Adrift. Long-term effects on humanity. The long-term effects of such a profound environmental shift would be equally dramatic. Human civilization as we know it is built on coastlines and dependent on stable climates and ecosystems. A 1,000-meter sea level rise would shatter these foundations. Global food security would be critically threatened. The loss of arable land, coupled with disruptions to fishing industries, would lead to widespread famine and conflict. The mass migration of millions would strain resources and infrastructure, potentially leading to societal collapse in some regions. The economic and political landscape would be irrevocably altered. The world's major port cities, centers of global trade, would be gone. Supply chains would be shattered, and the global economy would likely collapse. The competition for dwindling resources and habitable land could easily spark new conflicts and wars. Yet amidst this bleak landscape, there would also be stories of resilience and adaptation. Humans, as a species, are remarkably adaptable. We would see the emergence of new technologies, innovative solutions, and a reimagining of how we live and interact with our environment. Section 5. Charting a course. Adaptation in the future. While a 1,000-meter sea level rise represents a worst-case scenario, it highlights the urgent need for action. We cannot wait for catastrophe to strike before we act. We must chart a different course, one that prioritizes sustainability, reduces our reliance on fossil fuels, and protects our planet for future generations. The first step is mitigation. drastically reducing our greenhouse gas emissions. This requires a global effort to transition to renewable energy sources, improve energy efficiency, and invest in sustainable technologies. Alongside mitigation, we must invest in adaptation strategies. This includes developing resilient infrastructure, protecting coastal communities, and finding innovative solutions to water scarcity and food security. The future remains unwritten. The choices we make today will determine whether we face a future of rising tides and catastrophic consequences, or one where we navigate the climate crisis and build a more sustainable and just world for all. The time to act is now.